Hello food friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a salmon head sipping broth. I will show you how to make the most of a salmon head and how to put it to good use in your kitchen. This whole salmon head is over £1 and it cost only $1.75. I removed the scales from the collar and the flesh bits by using a butter knife, and then I washed it really well so it's really clean. There's a lot of meat in the salmon head, so I'm going to show you how to get all the meat out and what to do with it as well. In a deep skillet, I'm going to add 1.5 liters of water to this. I will be using 1 bouillon cube, and this is just a chicken bouillon cube, just to add some salt and flavor and take away a little bit of the fishiness. Bring this to a boil on medium-high heat, and once it starts bubbling and the bouillon cube starts melting, I'm going to mix it around so the flavors can evenly distribute. Sipping broth is very nutritious and it has a lot of the collagen. Once it's come to a nice boil, I cover it and cook it for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to flip it over because I want it to cook evenly. It does have a lot of bones and it is thick, so flipping it ensures that it's cooking well on both sides. The flesh that I will be utilizing includes the salmon cheek, the collar meat, and the salmon steak meat itself. It's quite a lot of meat for $1.75 when you think about it. Let's cover this and let it cook for another 5 minutes, and then we'll return to it and give it another flip. I grew up eating nose to tail, so nothing is wasted. This was like a prized piece for us. The cheek meat is so delicate and so tender. I'm going to eat this now. And it is so delicious. The bouillon has added a nice flavor, and it's not too fishy at all. This is the salmon steak meat from the thicker part of the salmon. It's fully cooked, so I'm just going to turn the heat off. I'm going to flip this over because I do want to eat the other salmon cheek. I'm kind of nibbling as I go, just showing you how to fully utilize the salmon head. Look how perfect that piece of meat is, and it just slides right out of that salmon. It fits like a puzzle piece. This is one of the most tender pieces. As children, we'd fight for it because there are only 2 of it, and they're 2 tiny little pieces, so you were lucky if you got one of those. It's time to remove the head and place it in a dish so it can cool, and then I will extract the meat from the head after it's cooled down. There's a lot of meat, as you can see. I'm going to taste this and see if it needs any salt. It has a rich flavor, and some of that collagen has been released. You can see the film of fish oil, which is great fat, so I won't be skimming any of that. Time to remove the meat from the fish head. I'm breaking the collarbone apart, and I'll be peeling back some of the skin and just start pulling out those chunks of meat from the collar itself, and then I'll move on to the thicker parts and make sure to remove any bones that you encounter along the process. This is a lot of meat. I think this piece of salmon, if it was a fillet, would be at least $8 for the amount of meat I'm getting here. And then we'll flip this over and do the same. Peel the skin back, remove the chunks of meat, and get as much as you can out of this fish head. There I have my meat and my bones separated. Look at the amount of meat I have here. I did eat some along the way, Make sure to remove any skin or pieces and bits you don't like. Now I'm going to make this fish broth even better. So I'm going to turn the heat up to a medium high, add my fish head bones and a sprinkle of salt and a bit of water, and then I'm going to bring this to a nice boil so I can further release more collagen from the fish head and get some more of those essential nutrients extracted and a bit more of the fish oils as well. I add some black pepper for flavor, and then I'm just going to let this come to a rapid boil. I did eat some of the salmon meat, but this is what I kept, and I'm going to make a single pasta dish with the salmon at a later time. This is really a great way to get extreme nutrients for a very small amount of money. So once this is boiling, I cover it and let it cook for about 5 minutes, and then I will come back to it. Now it's rapidly boiling and the water is decreasing a bit. I'll give this a stir, and I'm going to add a bit more water because I want it to cook down a bit further so I can get the most nutrients as I can. The fish head is really starting to break down and fall apart, so this doesn't need cooking for that much longer. I'm just going to let it boil for another 5 minutes, and then this will be ready. Fish tea is a very common thing in Caribbean countries, and fish soups are common in many places. Many dishes use fish stock, so this could be used as a fish stock as well. Now this is done, and I'm going to turn the heat off and get ready to strain it. I tasted it and it didn't need anything else. It just has a pure flavor of salmon and a saltiness and just a nice mouthfeel. I'm going to strain this into a bowl, and once strained, I got just over 1.5 liters of fish broth. To make this a great sipping broth, you could add fresh herbs such as cilantro, chives, lemon wedge even, or fresh parsley. I didn't have any of that, so I just added some dried parsley to give it some color, and so you can have an idea of what a sipping broth is essentially made up of. Usually it's just a nice concentrated broth with some fresh herbs that you can sip like a savory tea. Here is our fish head sipping broth. It's so packed with nutrients, and it is so affordable and delicious. Next time you see a fish head in the supermarket, don't turn away. Pick it up and sniff it, and if it smells fresh, take it home and make this. Thanks for watching.